All bowling fans, first week of Van McNeil's Road to the Summer Series blog. And Van, what were you thinking as soon as you paid that $750 entry fee to the PBA there? What went through your mind?
First of all, I was shaken, because once you hit submit, there's no turning back from that. So I hit submit as the hand was shaken on the mouse. Click. Made it. Now there's a lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah, and you started even before you hit the click button. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You talked on the Spare Time show. You were going to bowl the dream. Now you got it going and everything. And you got a little help from Dwight Albrecht. We'll talk to him a little bit later about the coaching and stuff like that. And how's he been for you so far with a couple of lessons under your belt?
Let's just say it's been eye-opening. I think I've said this on the show before. Under the direction of Dwight, it feels like I'm learning to bowl all over again. Is it a bad thing? No, it's making me a better bowler.
Well, especially because you're going against an entirely, totally different class of bowler than you've ever seen before in your life as soon as you hit the lanes at the AMF centers in Milwaukee.
Right. In over my head? Maybe. But if I can become a better bowler along the way and maybe hang with some of the pros here, you'll never know unless you try.
Yeah, I mean, there's 7 more weeks until you hit that first tournament at AMF Waukesha. So plenty of time to learn about equipment and bowling. And tonight, first time ever on the lanes behind us here at New Berlin Bowl, put you on a really tough lane condition. Yeah. Obviously, we don't have PBA lane conditions, but we do have ones we can use that are sport compliant. The USBC has the sport bowling program. And we put you on one of the programs that they have out at the USBC tournament in Reno this year. And little getting used to?
Again, I will say eye-opening because we're all used to the house shot, all the league bowlers out there. You know what you're going to get with that. When you go to a sport-compliant shot, oh boy, look out. Yeah, you need to be more on target. You need to be more on your games.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple 3 off the rights tonight and that kind of thing, so getting used to that more oil on the outside, no doubt about that. But towards the end, after a little work with Dwight, little coaching, little lane play for me, and all of a sudden I'm looking up there and I see a late 4-bagger run there.
Yeah, those little adjustments, and Dwight and yourself, both of you, just offering some great advice, and it's really improving my game. So I'm excited to see where, from week 1 to week number 8, and as we get into the summer swing, how the progress went. I'd like to see that. And I guess that's why we're doing this, right?
That's exactly why we're doing this. We're going to see how you do, how everything's going. And, looking down the rack there, we got 1 bowling ball. We got a Brunswick Aura, which is fine if you were just bowling league.
Yeah.
And then you found out tonight this Aura, which is a nice ball, but sometimes you got to tweak them from when you get to tougher conditions.
As Coach has said before, if you take 1 ball out there, it's like you're playing 1 club on a course. I do need the equipment, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about here, and something else that we're going to learn as we go on with this adventure here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know obviously you're not going into the summer swing with just 1 bowling ball.
No, that'd be silly.
Yeah, I know we're going to drill some up, and I know talking to our friends at Brunswick Bowling, there'll be some things going on in the future that, you'll get a little help with equipment and help from Dwight, obviously, with drilling. So I think you're going to be pretty much have a nice arsenal going into the summer swing that you wouldn't have gotten without the knowledge you're getting from somebody like Dwight or somebody like some of the people from Brunswick.
It's nice to see that the bowling community is rallying around a dreamer. Yes, it's a long shot that I'm going to do anything at this summer swing, but the experience, that's what I'm looking for. I want to see how I truly hang with these guys.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. And let's take it over to Dwight Albrecht. Let's sit down. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to talk to him. We're going to analyze your game a little bit.
Yeah,
we're going to try to get him to take it easy on you.
This is how you learn how not to bowl, right here, coming up.
So we're going to take a short little break here, and we'll be back. We'll sit down with Dwight Albrecht and analyze Mr. McNeil's game in just a moment. Join Steve Sparky Fifer, Van the Man McNeil, Dwight 5-time Albrecht, and other guests as they talk about the PBA Tour and local bowling on the Spare Time Bowling Show, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Dwight Albrecht and Phil Brylow both use Motion View bowling coach software to analyze their players. Whether you're a coach or a bowler looking to improve, purchase your copy of Motion View at bowlingcoachsystems.com. Well, here with Dwight Albrecht. Dwight, you're the one coaching Van McNeil on his road to the Summer Swing. I know you've known Van for a lot of years, but this is the first time you've really gotten to work with him on his bowling style and coaching, and kind of had a project on you when you first got a hold of him a couple of weeks back.
Well, Phil, just like any student, obviously when they come in, I hate in coach's terms called a train wreck, but with some students, you know, they come in and we got a lot to work on. You're a coach too, you understand that. Yeah, he had a few things going on. We had some issues, obviously, with his start and the distance he was from the foul line. He had too long of a slide. Here goes the smorgasbord list, I call it. Arm swing too far away from his body. But he's getting there. I mean, and the video, obviously, and the computer helps tremendously with the software that is available today.
Oh, yeah, and then, you know, we saw him, you were working with him over, you know, I was picking over your shoulder, you were working with him on, you know, little changes you saw from week one that he's gotten through.
Yes.
To this third week he's been working on everything, yes. And now, you know, now a couple more things he's got.
Yes,
exactly.
Progression.
No, and he's done a lot of work in a couple of weeks, and he's actually made some really good progress. What's a couple of things that you know he's really improved on?
Well, he's got closer with his pivot foot to the foul line, so that's the first one. He's not, I guess, muscling as hard with his head and his shoulders at the finish, even though he still needs a little work on that. The other thing, too, is he's starting to get the feeling of his arm swing to stay a little closer to his body. Still needs a little work with his left arm, trying to keep his left arm down and forward so he doesn't lead so hard with his right shoulder, but it's improving. So there's little glimpses of improvement, yes, but again, it's only been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so it's still very early to him. He's obviously, the biggest thing that as a coach we want to avoid is the paralysis or analysis. Don't give him too much to work on at once, one thing at a time. Have him perfect that one thing and then move on to the second in that order.
So what's the couple of things you got him working on for the next time we do this blog in a couple of weeks?
Definitely pivot step to finish drills at home. That's where he's putting his right foot forward, balls in his backswing, simulating the balls in his backswing. Maybe put a 5-pound barbell or a can of soup in his hand, and then transition into the finish and then post-finish drills, trying to keep his head and his shoulders as quiet as possible.
Now, you got to watch him bowl out here tonight. We put him for the first time on a really tough shot, the USBC one. The USBC shots they're using in Reno, obviously not the same as out there, but still sport compliant, just as tough he's going to see in the summer series. You know, he's got the Brunswick aura, and that's about it. What do you think for next time? We get a couple of pieces drilled up for him?
I think you hit it right in the head. I mean, A, you've got to have a great physical game, but B, another part of the equation is you have to have a lot of equipment, and then you have to know what each ball does. So that's, I mean, it's called the piece of the puzzle, if you want to call it that. You got to take that lane condition, figure out what you're bowling on, and then look at your bag of 6 or 7 balls and pick the right one that's going to match up to that condition. Yeah. So it's not just all physical game. There's a lot of elements to the master plan of coaching. Yeah, one of them is equipment.
And especially at the PBA level. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's a kind of an entirely different animal than what bowlers see in league.
Those pros know exactly. Based off the lane surface, it can vary a little bit, but they know what they're bowling on from week to week, and they remember, just like a pro golfer remembers a golf course, they remember what that lane or that lane condition is going to play like. They go to their bag, they pick out that ball, or they go to the truck and drill up another one if that one ball is worn out, and exactly what worked on that condition when they were on it last.
And the best part is, thanks to our friends at Brunswick Bowling, Van's going to get a couple of nuggets that you're going to drill up for him next time. We'll talk a little bit about why you chose the particular balls you did to practice on different conditions, along with why you drilled out certain layouts. And I think that's going to be pretty interesting as well for those of you viewing this Road to the Summer Swing blog for Van McNeil. So make sure you join us again for the new one in a couple of weeks. Keep up with us on our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel telecast for bowling. And once again, thanks for joining us. And parents, always remember, take your kids bowling because they'll have fun for life. We'll see you on the next blog, and keep watching our shows. What you want, what you want. Come on. What you want. Come on. Come on.